Good afternoon. Sunday open. I had to wait until today to do Monday's plan because we had a contract roll and I traded the continuous contract. So I had to wait for them to reflect those new numbers. That was about a 60 point gap up, and then there's another 20 point for news, which you can see here. But if you unback adjust it, you can see that the gap up was large when you incorporate both the news and the contract roll. Anyway, we gapped right up to a resistance. No surprises there. Here's the issue, guys. It's a breakout trade now. My suspicion is that we keep going. But we're right. Last week, the first target was right here. It's the back test of the flag. Second target is the SPX gap fill, which is now right here at 6.5 or 7.656. Then we just look higher, right? I'm looking up towards 7,800. That's why I think we're going. I don't have a great entry for you, but that's just what I think is going to happen next. I have to wait and see if they give another entry, or it could just keep going. I don't know. I can't magic into whether this breakout on the gap up is going to give you a re-entry or not. I just tell you that what I think is going to happen strategy wise is the strategy we're going to use is I think it's going to reclaim this old flag, pop up above it, and then I think that the higher low is going to proceed the next trend leg. So that's what we're going to lean into. Thankfully, we have a bunch of swing longs, so ideally we can take advantage of that. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at. These are the new reflected numbers where the flag is based on those numbers and whatnot. And I think at the very least we're going to hit 7.654 for the gap fill. We are, however, at resistance. So best case scenario for people who aren't in yet is maybe it flags here a little bit because things don't go up a straight line. I don't even know if it's going to fill that gap, though. It might not even fill the gap because it could be a breakaway gap, and then you're just stuck chasing it higher. How you want to do that's up to you, though. I don't know your individual situation. Maybe I'll give you a little flag, though. SPX gap fills next, then we look a little bit higher after that, towards the 7,800 area. Either way, I'll write that up. Let's see what else going on. Looks like Bitcoin ran a little bit and now it's flagging. Same sort of thing. It broke out of a flag. We haven't really done anything yet with that. It's just one candle. But ideally, we're going to take Bitcoin. This is the bottom of the rally. My entry was 64. We're just barely above it right now. I'm not going to trim this entry until we take out this high. When we get above the 68 level, I'm going to trim. I'm going to throw a stop under here, which I can't do yet. After I trim, then once my stop loss is in profit, I'm going to wait for whatever the flag forms is. When the flag forms, I'll add again higher on the chart for the target. That's about 130 now. Okay. But I trim before I add to make sure that the new swing low forms how it's supposed to. That's about it, guys. There's not much to talk about in the interchangeable stocks because obviously we don't know how they're going to do or what this is going to look like by the morning. So let's see if it flags a little bit, if it gives a re-entry. Ideally it will. But just be aware this is a big gap, right? And again, this is not just the contract roll gap. This is a news gap. And the contract roll gap is actually stacked on top of that like this, right? Which is about triple the size. So I'll draw this up in the chart. I suspect we go higher when this flag's done.